I'm Amanda Ferguson at Brock University, where the Canadian battle against Zika is only just beginning. Now, beyond these airlock doors, researchers are giving Canadian mosquitoes the Zika virus to determine not only whether they're carriers of the virus, but whether it's possible that they can infect humans.
I think there are other species that are transmitting it, and there's good evidence to back that up.
It's the numbers game that's been bugging Dr. Fiona Hunter. Ontario has 67 species of mosquitoes, and she thinks it's entirely possible one is capable of carrying and spreading Zika.
Of course, we have 67 mosquitoes in Ontario, and we have not tested all of them, but we've been testing them as they've been emerging in the wild. So far, so good. The mosquitoes that we've tested have not been transmitting or capable of transmitting, so that's very, very good news.
However, she's yet to get her hands on the type known to carry West Nile, a virus that's in the very same family of Zika.
Our plan was definitely to zero in on the West Nile transmitters first, because it's also a flavivirus. However, all of the numbers are down this year, so we've just been taking what we can get.
Now, what you're looking at here is actually the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Now, these are the ones that are found in Central and South America, even Florida, to be carriers of the Zika virus. They're not actually native here in Canada, but what researchers are doing here, they're actually feeding them with sheep's blood. Now, this is actually considered to be clean blood. It's not infected with Zika at the time, but this is what it would look like if researchers were to say to infect the mosquitoes and then test them later.
In order to transmit Zika virus, a mosquito would have to pick it up in a blood meal. Then that virus has to get out of the blood meal, infect the midgut epithelial cells, get out of those cells into the hemolymph, which is just the cavity where the fluids slosh around, then get into the salivary glands, amplify some more, get into the inside of the gland to be spat out into the next host.
The blood in these containers is heated up to a palatable 37 degrees for the mosquitoes. Hunter and her team infects the insects, waits 10 days, and then tests the legs, wings, and salivary glands for any evidence of the virus.
Without the blood, they don't lay eggs.
So far, they've been able to cross out 8 of Ontario's 67 breeds of mosquitoes as possible carriers. There's so much chatter going on now about global warming and potentially pushing certain mosquito breeds further north. Are any of those kind of on your radar? Is that even in the realm of possibility that a Zika-carrying mosquito could eventually make its way to Canada?
Well, one of the species that we know transmits Zika is Aedes albopictus, the Asian tiger mosquito. We have found that in southern Ontario. Just a couple of specimens 10 years ago. We've been waiting for it to set up shop here, and it actually hasn't. But we are actively looking for those because they're not that far south of us. They're in the northern states, and it makes sense that eventually they'll make their way here. It's been 15 years since West Nile was first found in Toronto. Coming up, I'll update you on the battle on that front and tell you how far we've come. Amanda Ferguson, City News.